Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. It is I, once again, screaming into the void of the internet. Let's go ahead and talk about something now. I think I've made a video about this before, and I kind of want to further elaborate because I feel like I didn't get as much as I wanted out, so I might reiterate some of what I said before, but considering that, I don't really have that much people watching me, it's not really the end of the world. So what I wanted to talk about today was Parenthood. And why I guess I've changed certain feelings on it. I still, feel the same. I don't really want kids myself. But I do understand why people feel like it. And I feel like I'll share this, right? So my sister has a kid, and in typical fashion, she's essentially in a single mom status. She has a boyfriend right now, but she's not in a relationship with a father, so, it's not really that surprising, right? That's just the path that we're going on, especially if you come from the community, right? So, apparently, he's in the mood, not in the mood, I guess he's in the age range where it's like now he's, learning to speak a little bit. And even if he doesn't, speak the words, he's trying to, mimic him as best as he can. So my sister, she's not a big anime freak, but she'll occasionally watch, anime here and there. And so she's watching One Piece, and she discovered that as he was watching it with her a bit, he would when the intro would come on, I don't know what the intro is, so I'm not gonna even pretend to say some of the lyrics, but whenever one of the female singers would hit a note and hold it for a minute, he would just go in his little baby talk. And that kind of made me laugh because I was to be honest, I wouldn't mind. I'm not, like I said, I'm not a big anime head, but if I could make him sing Dragon Soul, that kind of put a smile on my face, I think. If he was singing Dragon Soul, even if he didn't say anything but Dragon Soul, I think that would make me chuckle a bit. Maybe something like that, as well as Naruto. Naruto, the first one, the actual just Naruto, not Shippuden, but the We Will Rise. We will rise. I can see him saying that, because it's one syllable each. So, but while I'm saying that, I was saying that I can understand, looking at him, singing essentially a freaking anime opening, and I can say, I can see why people would say, hey, listen, there are certain things in life that I would love to just share, with a kid. Let's say that a dad has an attachment to football, and he bonded with so many friends, and so he shares football with them, or anime, or video games and stuff like that. I remember back in the day, well, I guess it's not really back in the day, but Demon Souls, the game that essentially almost started it all for FromSoft when it comes down to the Souls formula. Demon Souls servers shut down, and this was before the PS5 remake. So he essentially made a video saying, I'm never going to be able to share this gift with my son. He could share it with his son, in the realm of PS3, but he can't play with him like he'd want to, and he talked about how sad that would make him. And I began to realize that there are some people who want kids because, again, they want to share something. They want to share, the things in life that they like, They share it. And I understand that. And I also understand that there are a lot of hurt people out here that want to have kids because they feel like they need to undo the damage that's been done in their lives. Because, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. My life's been pretty much screwed for a very, very long time. I'm convinced, now as an adult, more than at any point, even as a kid, I just knew that I was in a bad situation, but I'm convinced now that as an adult, dude, we need a parenting license. We need something, because there should just be people who should not legally be able to have kids. And I hate that because I know that the government can manipulate that. I know that the government can say, oh, well, you don't support the government, you don't trust the government 100% of the time, no parenting license for you. I know that you can manipulate that, and I hate that, but I just look at so many instances, within my own life, and I'm sure that you can look at instances of maybe your life, or maybe your close friend's life, or even just someone that you can see instances where people are just awful, awful human beings, and the fact that they have the ability to just pop out kids, and then the kids have to suffer because of this cocksucker's wrongdoings. It's just not right. It really isn't right. The fact that people like that can have kids and they just don't give a rat's arse, they don't care about the quality of life that they're going to give to the kid and stuff like that, it's insane to me. It's insane to me, But I'll say this, I've never personally felt, I've had a pretty rough childhood, I got abused quite frequently, I didn't get abused sexually, thank God, but, I got abused mainly by, my bio dad, so, I don't really like to call him a father, because, if he's just beating on your arse all the time, and there's essentially zero love in the freaking relationship, then can you really say that's a parent? I listen to some people that have, a bad mom or a bad dad, and it's is that even a dad at that point? They're just taking care of you because they feel like they'll get in trouble with the freaking state. They don't really care, at the end of the day. And, I'll listen to cocksuckers like Cucker. Well, I don't listen to him, but, when he hears people that say that they don't want kids or that they're not for people having kids, he's like, how unhappy was your childhood? Listen, cocksucker, not everyone is in a position where we get fortunate enough to just be blessed with millions and millions of dollars just for speaking. I love that cocksuckers like that, especially conservatives, have the gall to usually sit in their insanely privileged positions. And I hate the term privilege, because I'm not talking about hue white privilege. But, if you are in a position where, let's just say that you worked your arse off and you succeeded, at the end of the day, whether people want to admit this or not, there is a massive amount of luck involved. Because that same cocksucker that's going to tell you that, oh, well, I worked for everything I had, ask them an honest question. Okay, let's play that game. If you were born in a third world country and you worked exactly as hard as you do now, you did every step imaginable, do you think that you'd be in the position that you are now? And they're not going to answer that directly, in typical political fashion, and I need to say politics because it's just like politics. It's what all these cocksuckers, these caricatures of theater like to do. They'll dance around that question. They will never directly answer it. Oh, well, I believe, well, in my opinion, well, I believe, precisely, they'll never answer directly. The simple answer to that is no. No, you would not. Sometimes you can do everything right. You can follow step by step by step. You can try and innovate, and crap won't happen. Sometimes people's idea only catch on after they freaking died. That's life. So listen, when you hear people like that telling you how unhappy was your childhood, why would you possibly be telling people that they shouldn't be allowed to practice their God-given right of having kids? And yeah, I do think it is a God-given right. I do. But I'm also not willing to, be an idiot and say that, hey, listen, there are just people that just should not be parents. They make awful parents, and it's not fair to the kid. Because I'm going to be honest, I feel like a lot of people don't want to accept the fact that they failed as a parent. Because you see, something that we tend to do is we make it seem like we can never hold our parents accountable. And I think that that's absolute horse crap. No. You absolutely hold them accountable. Hold them accountable. Whenever they're over here asking you what you want to do with your life and stuff like that, especially in today's day and age, because I'm noticing a lot of people, especially NEETs and stuff like that, doomers and stuff like that, they're saying, oh, their parents are giving them a hard time and they want them to get out of the house. And it's like, I'd love to leave too, but, I'm in a freaking environment where, I don't have anything. And, my parents aren't heckling me, but it's like, I want to get out of here. I don't want to be here. I'm not happy here. And I'm just screwed, And when I listen to people talking about how their parents are interpreting it, and I'm mainly talking about the people who are actually trying to do stuff, because I talked a while ago how, one of my friends, his mother is a complete alcoholic, and she threw him out, She threw him out, and he had to move in with a friend of his, and his mother, the friend that he moved in with, is trying to throw him out too. Both of them. And this is what I mean, what was their plan? They're always asking us, what do you want to do with our life? What was your plan for us? Because, listen, I'm not telling you that, if you're a parent, you need to, direct the kid's life. But if you are not able to offset any amount of suffering in any capacity that your kid faces, then, and I'm not talking about financial, okay? I'm not just talking about financial. But finances are a big part of it. I personally feel like you have partially failed as a parent. Maybe that kid has a good head on their shoulders. Maybe that kid is a decent moral person as best as a human can be, because humans are pretty crappy. We're just giving ourselves, a facade of righteousness and goodness, but I feel like the base state of humanity is to screw each other over. Plain and simple, because you just really got to look at it for what it is. But they got a head on their shoulders. Maybe, they're a relatively, again, decent person, as decent as you can get for a human, and that's not going to keep the bills paid. Simple as that. And listen, I'm not one of these cocksuckers that tells you that success is financial. I'm not one of these people telling you that you need to have tons and tons of cash and stuff like that. But can any of us, realistically speaking, say that we have been in a position, because, a lot of people like to talk about America and it's the land of opportunity and this, that, and the other, but I don't really know many people in America that have ever been in a position where they don't have to live paycheck to paycheck. I'm sure that there are people like that, but I have never known it. I've never known it. Even people that you think are, like, not living paycheck to paycheck, they're just living, like, a different quality of paycheck to paycheck, And some of it is stupidity. Don't get it twisted. Some of it is, like, them buying crap that they don't need and whatnot, making dumb decisions. But you're at a state now where it's like, listen, it's just, this is the norm now. The economic state of the country, the socio-political state, the socio-economical state, even just the social dynamics of a whole in society has just drastically declined. And there aren't many parents to where, like, if they put your arse on the fire about you're not doing enough, ask them straight up, oh, let's play that game. What did you really do, for me, for my future, Because you know what they're immediately going to say? I fed you, I clothed you, did this time. So, okay, yeah. But when I became an adult, because when you really think about it, the kid years are hard. But you don't stop being a parent just because someone turns 18. This whole, like, throw the kids out, no. That's not how that's supposed to work. I'm not telling you that they're supposed to be a bum, but I'm saying you're supposed to be able to help them in some capacity. Back in the day, your parents helped you find occupations. They helped you find, like, if you wanted a relationship, they helped you find a relationship. They helped a lot more. They were able to help, get you your first car, get you land, help you afford a home. I'm not telling you this is stuff that they have to do, but I'm saying that they certainly helped you acquire the life that you did. They helped assist you when it was about pursuing it, And people usually paid it back by saying, all right, your cognitive ability is declining. Come stay with me, and I'll try and get you as comfortable as you can for, this season of your life, But they don't do that anymore. And they're always giving you a hard time, but, like, when you bring this up, they try and act like you can't hold them accountable. Oh, I don't remember that. You guys ever notice that? Like, if you ever hold your parents accountable, they don't remember doing shady crap. You remember it. You remember it clear as day, but they don't remember that crap. Not at all. Especially in, like, this kind of, like, the communitized, the ratchets, the ghettos. They don't remember that. They'll act like that didn't happen. Or that you're not supposed to call them out. That's bullcrap. No. Always hold people accountable. I don't care if they're your family. I don't care if your mom, your husband, whoever they are, hold them accountable. Holding someone accountable is a form of confrontation, and I feel like some people are just so pussified these days, and they're afraid of confrontation, and they just don't want to do it. Hold them accountable. They may not have a right to answer you, but you have a right to ask. Because if they want to ask you what you want out of life, and when you're going to do X and Y, ask them. Okay, you see what I'm going through right now. As a parent, how are you unable to offset this in any capacity? And again, I'm not really talking about, like, my parent, but I'm talking about parents who are, like, giving their kids a hard time. Because listen, I know that some parents give their kids a hard time because, like, they're a freaking slouch. They don't do anything. I'm not like that. I do chores around here. I try and offset stuff because they don't have to take care of me. And I know that I could be on my arse out here, and I'm a man. I can't just move in somebody's house because I got a vagina. That's not how it works for me. If I was on, like, a homeless shelter program, I'd be screwed. And, like, I do have the military option available to me. But I'm dead serious. I would be a vagabond. I would be a homeless guy. I would just sit around here and just, like, maybe freaking just slouch around at, like, freaking places. I'd be trying to get a job, obviously, but I would just live in a car. I'd try and become like a farmhand or something. I wouldn't give the military my life. I'm not going to fight for this country because the amount of suffering that I have been inflicted with because of this country, because of the lack of opportunity, because of the lack of network to help men, and I'm sure that a lot of men can attest to this. No, why would I fight for them? And then masculinity's toxic 24/7 until you need cannon fodder, right? No, F that. No. But the fact of the matter is this. A parent that has no way of offsetting the suffering that their children are going to face, there is something to be said about that. And this is kind of one of the big things that I'm trying to bring up, right? People feel the need to say that the fertility rate is such an issue because the population is going to get older and no one's going to be here to take care of them. But here's the fact, okay? If we can say when we're younger, because a lot of adults say this now, no one's obligated to take care of you. You got to take care of yourself. Why does that suddenly change? Because your arse is getting older. Uh-oh. Yeah, I'm going there. Why is it someone else's responsibility to take care of you when you don't feel the responsibility to take care of them when in their time of need? Listen, I get that it's hectic. I get that, we're all living in an economic, kind of chaotic period. But if so many parents are willing to throw their kids out right now, why the heck are they going to look you in the eyes and tell you that you're supposed to somehow take care of them when they're old? Explain it. Make it make sense to me. Because you're telling me it's not your business. It's not your problem. It's not your responsibility to help like the younger people. But then when your arse gets old, when your hips go out, when you fall down the stairs and you can't get up, now it's on us. We're obligated to help you, but you're not obligated to help us. No. Absolutely not. Love is a two-way street. Are you giving me the love? Because if you're giving me the love, I'm more than happy to receive it. I'm not going to sit around here and lie to you and say, hey, listen, if someone's giving you the love and then you're not giving it back, then yeah, you're a piece of garbage. But if you're giving the love and you're also receiving it, then, it's on equal ground, right? So I don't have a problem doing it. But I can tell you, and a lot of younger people can tell you right now, especially because right now most of us are the kids of the boomers in some capacity. You see, how people work for the most part is we will build a bigger future for our children. We will build a bigger future for our children. We will build a brighter future for our children. Boomers came along and said, F you kids. You see the issue with that? F you. And you really can look at that and say, think about it. They weren't really thinking about the kids. This is not really me telling you to just infinitely hate boomers, but think about it. They didn't keep land. They said, nah, it's too hard to work. They didn't leave you inheritances. Nah, we want the money for ourselves. You get it? You really got to start thinking about this stuff, man. You really got to hold them responsible. And then when they're telling you, you need to work, you need to do, something that's taxable so that you can help my, 501c3 so that you can help my Social Security. No. The Social Security is dried up. See, the boomers are going to get their arse handed to them just like we are getting our arses handed to us now, They're telling you that, back in my day, I could do X, Y, Z. And listen, great. We can't. The inflation rate has been astronomical. Your dollar went farther. Now, you can say that, it wasn't as much as people think because, just because it was $17K, that's still almost equal amount. Yes, but one salary was able to achieve that. So whether or not you want to admit it, your dollar went farther, Your dollar went farther and you could do more with it. And in that abundance, you didn't leave anything for your children. And here's where I want to say why I feel the fertility rate is a good thing. You see, I'd argue that when people look at other countries and you see these instances where they have 5, 6, 7 kids and they're living in a freaking mud hut, you got to look at that. And I'm talking about instances where it's not, where they're freaking starving, dude. They live in awful conditions. And those kids they've got all kinds of crap. They got freaking parasites in their foot and all. And, you look at that and you go, you know what? I see why Americans and people in the West just don't have kids. Because listen, the idea that all of us, we just can't get kids, that's bullcrap. Because listen, I live in the ghetto. Okay, a lot of people in the ghetto, they look awful. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I'm not saying that I'm some sexy fella. I'm not thinking that I'm like the hottest thing to ever walk the earth, but drugs, alcohol, and a life of like debauchery and indulgence, it will F you up. I'm just gonna be completely honest. These suckers don't have teeth. The girls don't have real hair. Like, these guys walk with limps. Like, they look awful. They don't have, like, they just all this, like, fake teeth in themselves. Like, they do all these drugs. They look awful. And they have kids. So, like I said, you can have kids. Anyone can just get kids, and just get with someone and just start making kids. But, I feel like younger people now, the reason why we don't have kids, the reason why we don't do it, is partially because we say, you know what, if I'm in a position where I can't take care of myself, if I'm in a position where I didn't have an inheritance, and now I'm trying to struggle and like get by, like, why would I bring a kid here? And I've said this multiple times, like, I don't really think, yeah, like, if I was gonna eat my words, if I was gonna say, all right, now I want kids, and try and get with some chick, number one, I'm a man, so I have to find like some kind of diamond in the rough and good luck with that. So like, my best chance is to like literally date outside the country, because I'm not dating a sister. I can't stand them. And the state of dating in America like leaves the guy at such risk that it's not even funny, because like, you have to do all this and they just have to show up, and then they can just say, I don't want to be here anymore, I'm gonna take the kids and your money. So yeah, but if I could just like get a chick and whatnot, now I have to think, okay, hold up, do I even have enough for this kid? And I don't have enough. And at most, I probably just say, all right, I'm just going to, if I don't have anything to give this kid, I'm at least just going to like take an account and make it for the kid. And I'm just going to keep saving it and saving it, saving it. I'm just going to keep putting money in that account, right? And that'll be the kid's inheritance in something. And maybe they can use it to help, offset a bit of financial burden in their early years. But I'm not going to like throw them out. And I'm not really going to be one of these people that's going to say, you need to go get your own money. I'm going to make sure that they have the ability to. But, if they want to stay with me, so long as they're not being an arsewite, I'm letting them stay. I know how freaking awful life is. This crap's not always your fault. Listen, I'm all for taking accountability, but listen, life is not always your fault, man. That is such a awful, awful, awful thing to tell someone, that, you get what you work for, you just have to put in the work. Because listen, people do put in the work. People are always busting their arse. Life is just not fair. Certain people win at it, other people don't. And I just feel like, listen, even if you didn't win at it, can you at least be able to pay, just to know that you've got your house paid off, to know that bills aren't an issue for you, to know that your food isn't an issue? Those people can't even do that. And I'm mainly talking about the smart ones. I'm not talking about the stupid ones that's getting on drugs and they're going to Super Bowl games and they got to get like $300 pair of shoes and stuff like that. I'm talking about the smart ones. The smart ones don't have to worry. The smart ones can't. My friend is in a position right now, because like I said, I told you a bit ago, he turned into a NEET now. Because his company pulled some dumb crap. Now he's out of a job. And is it his fault? It's not his fault. Now people like say, well, he should have had a backup option. Getting jobs is ridiculous today. But what I'm trying to get at is, it's not his fault. Yes, we need to take accountability for ourselves, but we also have to acknowledge that, listen, it's not always our fault. Not by a long shot. So, I'm going to say this, right? I wouldn't have anything for that kid. I wouldn't have any way to, like, ease the burden of life. And so, when people are not popping out the kids, I think it's the ultimate form of rebellion. Because keep in mind that the state doesn't give a rat's arse about the quality of our lives. The state doesn't care about us, having aspirations and dreams and desires and goals. They don't care about that. What they care about is, are you paying your taxes, baby? That's what they care about. That is their only objective for all of humanity. Every government everywhere. Are you paying your taxes? Are you paying us merely because we exist? Because that's what the state is. When you really start to think about it, ask yourself honestly, even the state cucks, even the bootlickers, even the cum guzzlers of the state, ask yourself this. All right, let's go ahead and take that away. Let's go ahead and take that away for a minute. since you say that somehow taxes aren't theft, why can't I get my own food? Why do I need a hunting license? Every other creature on the face of the earth needs to go put food in its belly, but it's illegal for me to do it because you didn't say so. Why can't I build my own home? Every other creature on the face of the earth can build its own home, but now it's illegal because you're the only one that owns the land? You gotta ask. You gotta ask. A lot of the crap that you think that you're entitled to, that's just abundance. You're not entitled to electricity. You are entitled to food. You are entitled to clothing. You are entitled to shelter. But the state has told you that even if you try and do it outside the confines of the state, that it's illegal. Oh, you built a cabin in the woods somewhere? We're going to find that and we're going to put you out. Oh, you're hunting without a license? We're going to go ahead and take care of that. You're going to go to jail for that. Oh, you're collecting rainwater? Oh, that's a problem. The state has controlled every aspect of your life. And cocksuckers who are still sucking that cum right out of the state's dick are going to look at you and tell you, there's nothing wrong with that. Makes no sense to me. But like I said, hey, working as intended. You know you got a good slave when the slave is defending being a slave, right? So I think that a lot of us, a lot of younger people, we look at that and we go, yeah, you know what? F it. You're never going to get kids out of us. Nope. Not here. If we decide to have kids, it's not going to be here. It's going to be somewhere where we actually have means. Where we have resources. And that's why you see a lot of these guys, specifically the young men, they're just saying, hey, I'm going to go ahead and get my passport. I'm going to go ahead and get out of this country and call it a day. Go to a freaking traditional place where, hey, I can get a family at an affordable price and not freaking die. My kids can experience life. Because you know what I hate, especially in the West? The West is, they're so freaking asinine when it comes down to like conflict and hardship. Because these kids didn't ask to be here. And I'm not one of these people that says that, oh, you should freaking abort the kid. But I'm one of these people that says, like, when I listen to these ads and these cocksuckers where they're saying, oh, well, I just want a vacation for my kids. They're such headaches. Hold up, cocksucker. Why did you have them? Why did you have them? Yes, you can't just stop being a parent. Why did you have them? And how about instead of you going on vacation, take that kid on vacation with you. Let the kid experience what life has to offer outside of just clothing, school, home. Clothing, school, home, just eat the same crap. Because listen, when you really think about it, kids, we're at a young age branded to essentially become some wage cut. Think about it. Most people can only afford food, bills, go to work. Food, bills, go to work. And at a young age, you know, they're teaching kids school, home, school, home, school, home. And that's basically all your little childhood experience. You barely get to do anything. Sure, you'll have like a few things here and there, maybe a park, maybe like an amusement park occasionally. But for the most part, you're not really experiencing anything outside of that. You're not experiencing being able to travel across, you know, like not even the world. Let's just say state, okay? Because like the world, that's pretty expensive. But let's just say state, dude. Going on a road trip. You know, like, no one's experiencing that. No one, what? Road trips with the family? How many of you can honestly say that? You know, like, let's just say that your family was functional. Let's say that you just were on good terms. Did they even have the finances to, like, go on a road trip for, like, 2 months or something? How many of us can afford to just say, hey, listen, I'm just going to take 2 months of work off and be okay? Not many people. This is what I'm saying, like, we're in a day and age now where children are just becoming more and more of a luxury thing. And you know what? A lot of people, younger people, can accept that. Because we look at it and we realize that we're getting screwed, we're getting played, and you know what? F the state. Because listen, I'll be alright. Here's the truth. I'm going to be completely honest. I don't give a rat's arse about having kids. You know, maybe that hurts some other people. Maybe that hurts them bad, and they say, well, I have to, it's just my biology. Well, then shut your arse up, settle up, suck it up, and go get you a nice single mom. Because if it really matters to you that much, if you're about to freaking blow your brains out, then you might as well just do that. Because listen, for me, and for everyone who actually cares, we all say this all the time. It is quality, not quantity. You might have had 6 kids, but if all of those freaking 6 kids, in my personal opinion, are wage slaves, you effed up. Your kids should not be wage slaves. Your kids should not just sit around and be stuck in a position where that they have to work that job all their life and they can't experience anything that life has to offer. Especially if they're not doing something stupid. If they're not spending their money crazy and stuff like that. Because listen, I'm not one of these people, again, that define success through material gains and finances. But if you're stuck at an awful job and you know that you can do better, and you're stuck there and there's no way out, listen, hate to break it to you, parent, but yes, you effed up big time. Big time. Whether you want to admit it or not. It is what it is. But if you had maybe one or two kids and they're both relatively set, relatively well off, not in the sense of like having tons and tons of money, but listen, money is not nearly as much of an issue. They can afford to take a vacation every now and again. You know, they can experience life outside of just home, work, home, school, you know. Then I'd say that you're doing it better. And a lot of us, we look at that and we go, yep, we can't afford that, so hey, listen, you ain't getting kids. And listen, the state is catching on big time. Japan has recently, you know, made a freaking little, not global, but a dating app thing where they're trying to like get the Japanese guys to marry, and it's just not going to happen. Especially because prostitution is legal there, you know. Heck, they're trying to do a visa thing where they're trying to offer like foreigners to come over there and breed, but you got to think about it. Those people are very isolated, and so even if you do succeed, even if you do go over there and you get that life, unless you can again keep American money flowing in, yeah. Also keep in mind that you're gonna get stared at quite a bit. Now, I'm not one of these people saying, go wasted them. No. Those people have been isolated. They have a right to say, hey, a person good, especially if, you know, like one of me goes over a nibba. Because you got all these suckers out here that go over there and they always starting crap. They're always starting crap. But then again, maybe you might have a better of a chance than you think, especially if you're a freaking hoodlum, because there's like a hip-hop community over there, so I don't know. But they will stare at you and stuff like that. Not to make this about Japan, but I'm just saying that the governments are acknowledging that we're in trouble. For example, no-fault divorce. That's a topic that's on the table. And they're trying to say, we might need to do something. But listen, too little, too late. Because even if they change that, let me tell you what, especially for men, because then my main thing I talk about is for myself, but I'm going to be real, if I had a target audience, it would be men. You know, if there's somehow a chick listening to this, which it's not, you know, I'm always inclined, even if I see a freaking female profile picture, that's a girl, alright, a guy in real life. There you go. So, I don't buy into that. But men are the ones who are realizing, hey, listen, you know what, let's go ahead and theoretically say that the laws change right now. Does the mentality of the woman change? No. Oh, well, I can't leave him. Whatever. I'll just go ahead and still cheat. And just stay. I just won't give him sex. And still stay. So listen, the idea that somehow like changing the divorce laws is going to stop them from being garbage is not going to happen, so. Listen. I'd say that a lot of people are just catching on to the fact that we've been screwed with, we've been lied to, and the best way to stick it to the system that wants you to just constantly throw meat into the grinder is to not produce extra meat. You know? Stop producing meat. I mean it. Live your life. Deal with it however you're going to deal with it, but if you must have a family, don't go with it here. Only have that family when you know you're going to have a future for them. Generational wealth, some kind of decent inheritance, something. A home, land, if you don't have it, you know, say, hey, listen, I've already got two options. I can put my nose to the grindstone and do everything in my power to try and get it. Or I can just say, you know what? You know, that's just unfortunate, but you gotta just leave it. Because listen, the kid should not have to deal with it just because you can't accept the fact that, hey, listen, I wasn't in a position where I could really give a future to the kid. You know, just because you can't accept that does not mean the kid should have to deal with the crap that they're going to have to deal with all of their life. You know? They shouldn't. Should you, as a person who wants kids and believes that it is your right to have kids, say, alright, I'm in an awful position and... Because, like, I hear some guys say, well, come on, dude, it's not that expensive and stuff like that. And it's like, they're not thinking the long term. They're really not. Can you help offset the amount of suffering that kid is going to deal with in their life? A lot of guys right now that are working, let's say $50,000 jobs, well, I can raise a kid with that. Yes, maybe you can. But you both know that you're barely going to be getting by during those times. And even right now, what do you have for that kid? Do you have land? A house? An inheritance? No? Because like I said, if you don't, then you really got to think about it. Because the people that did have kids at one point, that's what they had for them. And another thing, we are so freaking nihilistic and freaking unmotivated to do anything. I'm going to be honest. The worst thing I think that happens, because listen, I've said this many times, I don't care about my long life. I don't care. If I was told that I was going to die soon, I really wouldn't give a rat's arse. And a lot more people back in the day were fine with knowing that 9 out of 10, they're going to die long before they die of old age. They're going to die. And they were fine with that. You know why? Because they were fighting for their kids. They were fighting for a better future for their kids. They weren't so obsessed with life themselves. And you will notice this right now. A lot of people are obsessed with life. They don't care about the quality of life. And this is why I say this. If you are someone who's obsessed with life and you don't care about the quality of life, stop freaking complaining. Shut your arse up. Deal with it. Deal with it. I mean it. I'm serious. If you are someone that sees the problem, you acknowledge the problem, and you're so much of an arsehole that you're unwilling to do anything to solve it, shut up and deal with it. Deal with it. I mean it. Because listen, I'm not telling you to go start a revolution. But considering that most of us are unwilling to, stop complaining about it. Keep getting screwed in the arse by the state. Straight up. Deal with it. Because once people, again, when they had kids and they said, I had enough of this, you're not going to do this because this is going to screw over my kid in the future, they did something about it. Heads started rolling. That's what people were like when they said, we will, not can, we will have a future for our kids or else. And people are too chicken crap to do anything about it now. So listen, it's, in my opinion, I don't give a rat's arse about the fertility rates failing. I don't give a rat's arse about the fact that we're in a position where they're like, oh, well, they're going to replace us with the immigrants. Yeah. And guess what? Eventually, they're going to catch on and realize, holy crap, this isn't nearly as great as I thought it was. It's just better than my place, but it's still a different quality. Because listen, as more and more immigrants get here, you think they're going to keep printing money for them 24/7? You think they're going to get the free food? They won't. They won't. They will not. And even if they do for a season, that is because they're going to make it to where those immigrants aren't going to be able to have a future. They're not going to have that big business that they're thinking of. They're not. So, they're just giving them the illusion that, okay, we're going to help you for now. To try and get you to be loyal. To try and get you to vote for them. Keep them in power. But the fact of the matter is, they're fine with slaves. All they want are taxpayers. They don't give a rat's arse about the quality of their life. And the immigrants are too stupid to know that. Let's just be real. They don't have the knowledge. But if they stay here long enough, if they stay here for a decade or two, they're going to realize, oh, holy crap, they don't give a rat's arse about us either. The reason why they're doing it is because they think that there's so much of a difference between, the cartel and the government here. The difference is the method. The cartel is open. The government here is discreet. That's all it really boils down to. And again, so since we're unwilling to fight, hey, listen. This is the best choice of action. The best. Because listen, if you're that concerned about your life, then, go live your life. Go ahead and play the quiet game. Because listen, I'm not telling you there's something wrong with it, but I am saying there's something wrong with it if you won't shut up about it. And how, I wish I didn't have to do this. Then what are you doing differently? Are you willing to put your life on the line for the future of your kids? No. Shut your arse up then. Stop saying you deserve to have kids and you're not willing to put your life on the line for them. Because when I'm listening to people whining about, I wanted a family, are you willing to put your life on the line for your kids? Are you willing to suffer for the kids? If your answer is no, don't have them. Shut up about it. Because that is literally what happens. You as the person are supposed to come last after the kids. No guys, I'm not telling you it's women, kids first, this, that, and the other, but I'm saying as a parent in general, it's not about you anymore. That kid didn't ask to be here. They didn't ask to have to deal with all the crap that we have to deal with. They are here because of us. Period. And so the least that you can freaking do is put them first. The least that you can do is put them first. People don't even want to do that. You got freaking moms out here that are putting their kids in a freaking car while they're just sitting in Walmart for like 3 hours. No one wants to put kids first anymore. Oh, well, my beauty comes first. My hobbies come first. And this is the group of people here. That's why I say, hey, listen. It's good that most of these people don't have kids. I'm happy about that crap. The state doesn't get slaves, and then the kids don't get awful parents. I feel bad for the kids that are here now, because 9 times out of 10 they got a freaking single mom that's got lonely fans, and they're gonna have to deal with the fact that they're getting bullied, and some freaking kids got Xerox copies of their mom's freaking snatch, and they're like, I paid for your mom's OnlyFans and I made her do this. You're gonna see a lot more school bangings, if you catch my drift, as a result. And you know what? If you one of those cocksuckers that's doing that, don't be surprised, and I'm not gonna feel bad for them. Because if they were just a silent person and they just want to be left alone, and you kept doing that crap when you pushed and that crap happened, good riddance. You were probably gonna grow into a little turd anyway. Oops. Sorry, not sorry. Don't give a rat's arse. There's plenty of people that during our school days, I'm sure you guys knew what kind of person they were gonna grow into. So, hey, our society's got problems. I guess that's what I'm always doing. I'm always stating problems that our society has, because my God, does it have plenty. Does it have plenty? But I feel like Parenthood, it's just one of these things that I feel like a lot of us are just going to have to let go. Because, like, as much as you want to say that you don't have a future without kids, you got to ask yourself, does America as it stand now, because I'm mainly speaking about America, does it deserve a future? After all of the crap that they've treated you with, after the fact that they're not even willing to say, hey, listen, you don't deserve a livable wage. You don't deserve to be able to buy your house. You don't deserve to be able to own your land. But we, the state, after telling you all of this, after shoving that crap right up your arse, we deserve your genetic legacy so that they can be slaves for us. Make it make sense. But I'm going to go ahead and leave it there. That was just something that was on my mind. And I think it's funny that I can look at just a little kid, having fun singing a freaking anime opening, and I can get, I guess, passionate about it. Because, I'm going to be honest, when I look at the kid, dude, I feel bad for him. Because, you got to ask yourself, is she going to do the best for the kid? I hope so. She has changed. Having a kid did change her. For now. But, life is long, perhaps. Every day is a blessing, and you don't know how long you've got. But, she could just one day just say, you know what, I want to do OnlyFans. I want to do this. I want to do that. And then the kid can start being realized, because she has put him first. She has, and I will acknowledge that. Because that is a rare thing, especially amongst women right now. She has put the kid first. But she also slept with the wrong guy. Because it's not like their kid's bio dad is there, And, her boyfriend, he's not obligated to stay in the kid's life. So she's not really thinking about that stuff. He needs a male role model. So. And then I'm also thinking about the fact that, does she have an inheritance for him? I don't know. I just look at my nephew and I just feel bad because, there's so much joy in him right now, and I know that the state of the world is not going to improve. I know that it's not. And it just sucks that he's going to have to deal with it. I'm already here, so it's like, that's one thing, but just the thought that he's going to have to deal with that, and there's no way to, help offset that suffering for him, it's just, I don't know, dude. I don't know. But I'm going to go ahead and leave it here, gents. Hope you enjoyed. God bless. And I'll see you next time.